Well, viewers, now one of BJP's oldest and closest allies, the AIADMK, is at war with them. Even as the National Party tries to keep its friends close ahead of the 2024 polls, the AIADMK today passed a resolution against the BJP state chief Annamalai. They are condemning his remarks that was targeted, they say, at former Chief Minister J Jayalalithaa. Annamalai, meanwhile, during an event, of course, has said that the state administration was filled with corruption in the past, especially between 1991 and 1996. Now, here he, of course, goes on to mention this particular period, and we should note that during this period, Amma Jayalalithaa was the chief minister then. He also went on to say that the chief ministers of the past have also been convicted for corruption, referring again to Jayalalithaa here. Now, taking strong offense to these remarks, the AIADMK has said that Annamalai is straining relations with them, and more importantly, of course, this becomes even more important because 2024 is just around the corner. The party here further termed his comments as irresponsible, one which was made with ulterior motives is what the AIADMK says. But meanwhile, Mr. Annamalai has refused to back down to the criticism. The Tamil Nadu BJP chief has issued a statement right now slamming the AIADMK and asking them not to teach him about how to behave with his allies. Annamalai has also doubled down on his claims and saying that he will continue to fight against corruption and will not speak to the tune of his allies or what their partners want. Now, the ruling DMK has also decided to jump into the alliance fight, calling their ongoing tussle all a big drama. Meanwhile, the DMK further is going on to say that the BJP is incapable of letting go of AIADMK in order to remain relevant in the states. There are, of course, multiple reactions that we're getting on this particular story. Let's listen in to a couple of them.
பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியின் மாநில தலைவர் திரு அண்ணாமலை அவர்களுக்கு கண்டனம் தெரிவித்து நிறைவேற்றப்பட்ட தீர்மானம். 2 நாட்களுக்கு முன்பு ஒரு ஆங்கில பத்திரிகைக்கு பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியின் மாநில தலைவர் திரு அண்ணாமலை அவர்கள் மாண்புமிகு புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவரின் நற்பெயருக்கும் புகழுக்கும் களங்கம் ஏற்படுத்தும் நோக்கத்தில் பொது வெளியில் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியாத திட்டமிட்டு உள்நோக்கத்துடன் அவதூறு கருத்தை பேட்டியாக கொடுத்துள்ளார். இதனால் தமிழகத்தில் வாழும் தெய்வமாக இருக்கக்கூடிய மாண்புமிகு இதயம் புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவருடைய தொண்டர்கள் மற்றும் பொதுமக்கள் மனதில் மிகப்பெரிய வேதனையும் மன உளைச்சலையும் கொந்தளிப்பையும் ஏற்படுத்தியுள்ளது.
When our beloved leader passed away, the matter was sub judice. She was not convicted. She didn't die as a convict. It was pending before the court. However, Mr. Annamalai seems to be exhibiting political immaturity time and again. And the two issues which needs to be treading with caution, and he should know where to draw the line on alliance dharma. So he breaching the Lakshman Rekha time and again because of his political immaturity. The way he handles certain questions and the way he exhibits certain comments out and open is not going well with the top leadership, particularly the cadres and with the people of Tamil Nadu. Amma is such a tall leader, and she is the one who everybody used to come and visit her and take advices and talk about political developments, including our beloved Prime Minister Modi ji.
No, this clearly shows frustration. Okay, frustration about though BJP only has 4 MLAs in the state, BJP has been acting as the most responsible opposition in the state. We've been taking the DMK head on. We've been addressing the issues of the people. So a lot of limelight is being thrown on the BJP. So how do you attack a party? You attack the leader of the party. So Annamalai, being the president of the Tamil Nadu unit of BJP, is being directly targeted by all parties alike. And this is not going to dampen the spirits of the party. Alliance is something which these are basically electoral. Alliance is only purely electoral. Alliance has nothing to do with ideology.
I've been seeing this drama from 2019. It was similar episodes where both the parties were giving comments on each other. And then we saw that in 2021 again saying alliance will be broken. How can you disrespect our party? That it is the continuation of such scripted drama between both the parties. I am assuring you both BJP and ADMK are interdependent on each other for their survival, because without ADMK, BJP cannot win a seat. And with so many cases pending against the former AIADMK ministers, they want the support of the center. That is the only thing.
Well, my colleague Dharani is also joining us right now live on the broadcast. Dharani, it's an interesting situation that's unfolding. Tamil Nadu, of course, in the southern, part of the southern states is very important ahead of 2024, especially considering the huge chunk of, seats that, AIADMK can bring for the BJP. Right now, having this sort of strained, relationship, do you think it'll work well for the BJP going into 2024?
Well, today the AIADMK has passed a resolution against Tamil Nadu BJP Chief Annamalai for his remarks on, former Chief Minister J Jayalalithaa in relation to corruption. So, in its resolution, the AIADMK is calling Annamalai inexperienced, irresponsible, and politically motivated. Despite the AIADMK lashing out at him and passing a resolution against him, Annamalai is standing firm on its ground. He is still sticking to its remarks on corruption in the state. In fact, he has gone on to tell that no one should teach him how to behave with alliance partners and their leaders, and that just because the BJP is in alliance with the political party, it is not necessary for them to tell whatever the other party only likes. So these are the statements that we are able to get from Annamalai. So definitely both of them are not in line, both EPS and Annamalai, both of their statements, they are not in line with each other. They are completely contradicting, and the rift between AIADMK and BJP is only intensifying with the high command of both the parties lashing out at each other, and this is definitely not doing any good to the alliance that they hold. And all of this happening 1 year before the Lok Sabha polls is what the main point here is. So in fact in the previous months also there were several occasions when both the parties were at loggerheads with each other, but at that time it did not involve Jayalalitha's name. But this time this rift is having the name of Jayalalitha on it. It involves the name of former Chief Minister J Jayalalithaa, and this is making it all the more serious. So that we have to wait and see how this is going to pan out in the upcoming days. But since this involves Jayalalitha's name, we can only assume that it can only intensify in the upcoming days, Deepak.
Absolutely, and especially considering the fact that it's 2024, it's an all-important election even for the BJP. They will, of course, hope that this sort of a situation does not really make things worse for them, because in the southern states, recently, of course, in Karnataka, they've, of course, lost the assembly elections. They'll, of course, want to do much better in 2024, and Tamil Nadu is very crucial. Now, to talk more about this particular issue, we have Mr. Kovai Sathyan of the AIADMK who is joining us. We are also here joined in by Mr. Madhavan Narayan. He's a senior journalist. We'll also have a panelist from the BJP very soon is what I'm told. But let's, of course, now take this question first to Mr. Kovai Sathyan of the AIADMK. Mr. Sathyan, at this point, how do you really look at this? Do you think this is a strategy of the BJP, or do you think that this is one man who's doing what he thinks is right, not probably towing the line of what the party wants him to?
It clearly exhibits his political immaturity. He is a new kid in the political arena, and he has a long way to go. And yes, there are many areas where he has to exhibit political nuances when it comes to alliance, which he failed to do so earlier. And our leader had sent the right signal in the high command. There was a meeting at Delhi where he was also asked to be in his place. But with his response, which got released an hour ago, it clearly shows that he doesn't respect his high command. He doesn't believe in hierarchy. So I think many occasion, his style of functioning in politics gives an impression that he is a rabble-rouser. Annamalai is not Arvind Kejriwal of Tamil Nadu, nor he can take that credit. And integrity, honesty is not the single ownership of one particular party. Every party has got people who have sacrificed themselves for the welfare of the people. And our leader, Amma, is one. She sacrificed her life for the welfare of Tamil Nadu people, and she is goddess for people like us, 1.5 crore cadres, and she is goddess. And when there is an alliance, you should know how to uphold the alliance dharma. There will be many occasions where people will start reading between the words. Here in case of Tamil Nadu, people start reading in between letters. So Annamalai should know how to handle it. In case if he is not capable, then he should seek the help from his higher command. His role is a nominated role. And whereas our leaders' role are elected and elevated to that stature. So when you make a comment and remark out and open, you should know where to draw the Lakshman Rekha, which Annamalai failed on multiple occasions. So it's high time that we send a note to their high command.
Well, Mr. Sathyan, I get what you're saying. Let's get in Mr. Madhavan here. Mr. Madhavan, of course, you've seen Tamil Nadu politics for quite some time. How do you really read into this sort of a situation? Because, BJP is not a party where anybody can get away by not, towing the line of the high command. If there are no clear directions, do you think Annamalai has grown so big right now that he can do something without the high command, approving of it? What do you really think is happening in this sort of a situation? Because AIADMK is, of course, important. But last time around, with the kind of open alliance that they've come out with, things have not fared well for the AIADMK. Do you think this is a strategy of sorts? Because when you look at it from a clear lens, it doesn't look like, this is just being done in the spur of the moment.
Like your question. Let me first say your question is obviously worth really something, because it is, given Mr. Amit Shah's stature and given what BJP has been doing systematically to build its support base in Tamil Nadu, whether you talk about some Kashi Sangamam or trying to use the rise of Ponniyin Selvan as a movie to build a story around Sengol and Tamil Nadu's contribution to the national, cause of India and all that. My big question is Mr. Annamalai acting at the behest of Mr. Amit Shah, or is he trying to pull the carpet from under the feet of the Home Minister? Because Mr. Kovai Sathyan just now spoke more like a journalist and less like an AIADMK person, because he actually was giving a fairly objective picture, because it's a case of fools rushing in where angels fear to tread. Let me say 3-4 things to make absolutely clear the things. First is that there is such a thing called the Dravidian ideology, and although ADMK and DMK may have significant disagreements, they are strong on the ideological ground, which is quite the distance from the kind of Hindutva logic of the BJP. So BJP already starts with a disadvantage in Tamil Nadu. And then there is an icon or a goddess-like figure like Jayalalithaa. So instead of attacking Edappadi, who's the current AIADMK leader, to attack a sacred icon of sorts is to invite trouble, because no MLA from AIADMK, past or present, would want to associate, even if BJP wanted to engineer defections from AIADMK as a long-term plan, this is sort of suicidal. So Mr. Annamalai is probably inviting to get himself removed from the presidentship of the BJP. That is my immediate reading. The other thing that we need to note is that, although it is true that ADMK and BJP are having troubles now, historically they've had some, there has been a good relationship between the Congress and ADMK, and BJP was well positioned to go back to the MGR's age formula of ADMK being the ally in the state and BJP being the dominant ally in the center. All that is coming to a naught if the kind of, I'm a Tamilian who loves Tamil, but there's only a Hindi word fit for this, which is Oot Patan. Mr. Annamalai is saying Oot Patan things that, would be very embarrassing for Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. So it is quite clear. I don't want to go into further details.
Mr. Madhavan, I'm going to bring in from the BJP, Mr. Vinod Selvam from the BJP is also joining. I'll take that question to him. What's the play here, Mr. Vinod? What is the stand of the BJP officially in all of this? Because, of course, he's your party president. He's made statements after statements. Is this statement in consensus in the party entirely, or is it just Mr. Annamalai making these statements in his individual capacity? How do we really read this?
We stand firmly behind our state president in all the decisions which is being taken by him. Secondly, it is very important to understand that this was a statement, it was an interview given to an English vernacular, and the essence of it has been very clearly misunderstood by several people, especially from the AIADMK, as which is being released in a letter by our President Sri Annamalai. So it was a very generic question, and he has answered the question in the way he deems it is best to answer. It is basically his freedom of speech to answer to the question as to which in a way in which he feels is the most apt. Expecting him to answer or dance to any second person's tunes is very unfair. And he has spoken his mind out. Time and again, Annamalai has proved to be a person with mantle. He has proved to be a person who speaks the truth and who is not afraid of coming out in the open. And that is what he has done here. He has spoken about the massive corruption which has happened, which has plagued the state over the years. And there's nothing wrong about that. And he has always insisted that he wants to follow the path of Shri Narendra Modi, and he wants to ensure
Mr. Vinod, when you have leaders, a former chief minister, in fact, coming out and hitting out, Mr. Vinod, I'd like to ask you, when you have, leaders like the former chief minister, like Mr. Palaniswami, who you're in an alliance with, come out and hit out, not really like what he's saying. How does it fare for the BJP? Because you've lost the assembly elections here in Karnataka. In Tamil Nadu, of course, probably, for the BJP, 2024, you probably will be optimistic, but it's not, a cakewalk at all. You do need the AIADMK. Right now, is the plan to go solo? How is it? Because you can't really rub off shoulders in the wrong way and then, expect things to be all right.
So today is a very interesting day in Tamil Nadu's political landscape. Today is a day when both the AIADMK and the DMK have simultaneously hit out at the BJP in different versions. See, BJP has been having a very upward trajectory in the state of Tamil Nadu. People have accepted the BJP as a party. The people of Tamil Nadu have accepted Shri Narendra Modi more than ever before. His popularity and the people wanting to see him lead the country is rising by the day, as being done by surveys by various leading media houses in the state of Tamil Nadu. So we are today, in fact, we are very much in alliance with the AIADMK. Our leaders, Shri Amit Shah, the central leadership has made that very clear. They've always mentioned about the NDA. They've spoken about United NDA being there. But that doesn't mean the ideologies of two political parties have to always align with each other. For instance, in the 2011 assembly elections, the DMK and the Congress were talking about alliance in the ground floor of the Arivalayam, which is the head office of the DMK. In the first floor, the various agencies of the central government were raiding the DMK's office, the head office, especially the Kalinga TV in relation to the 2G scam. But the alliance was still stayed intact, and they fought the election together. They miserably lost. That's a different story. But they did fight the election together. So it doesn't always mean that two political parties have to align on all the aspects. They have to align on all the ideologies, views, visions, and they have to speak what the other wants them to speak. That's not how it works.
But here you're targeting, one of the biggest faces that the AIADMK has ever had. Arguably the biggest face that the AIADMK has had. Your party president seems to have indirectly or directly, taken on Jayalalithaa. Do you think that we've seen the kind of following?
Hello.
Go ahead. No, let me make it very clear. K Annamalai never used any person's name. He had never used any person's name. He had never mentioned anyone's name in the interview which he had given. The question asked him was such, and the answer which we had given deemed the truthful answer, and he gave a truthful answer to the question which was asked. That's about it. Reading into the lines and making it a big issue was not even needed.
When you're talking about a particular time frame, and you're talking about the administration during that time, who else are you talking about? Are you talking about the other, anybody else? So can that clarification come in? Because that clarification never came in.
No, the clarification will come from K Annamalai himself. He only answered to a question which was asked to him. And that is the rightful answer he has given. He has in fact put forth another question asking, can anyone deny or say what he said was wrong? He did not say anything wrong. He did not pinpoint anyone. We are in continuance with the alliance as on date with the Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Of course, it's a decision of our central leadership. Today we are in alliance, and the alliance is, as I was already trying to mention, it is purely electoral for the betterment of the state, to drive away the evil called DMK, which is plaguing the state right now. 2 years and people are already frustrated, and people want a change in governance. For that, we are in electoral alliance with the Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. There is no changes in that. But this question needed an answer which K Annamalai had given, and reading into the lines further and further and deepening the controversy was totally uncalled for, and that is what is being done today.
Deepak, may I come in?
Let's take this to Mr. Sathyan. He says it's uncalled for, Mr. Sathyan. He says this was never aimed at, late Chief Minister Jayalalithaa. So what do you make of it? Because he's saying that this was just a question that was asked, and answer to that, no names were taken at all, is a statement from the BJP.
Deepak, I just said Mr. Annamalai lacks political maturity and political acumen, and I didn't brief further. I left it as it is. But my friend Vinod, in detail, clarified what it means political maturity and political acumen. I indeed quoted saying that in the times of alliance, we are not ideologically the same. It's a marriage of convenience, but there will be parties who will be reading in between the letters. It is easier for us to join the bandwagon of people when the Rafale watch controversy emerged out. We could have also joined the bandwagon. We could have remained neutral. We could have supported Annamalai on that issue by making out a statement. But it could be misconstrued by many people in many ways. It is not healthy for an alliance. So you should know in an alliance where to draw the line. You should know where does your Lakshman Rekha stands. You cannot post a picture of rabble-rouser and say, don't teach me how to behave with alliance. You are a new person, new entrant in the political arena, wherein we are here and facing DMK and the Dravidian party for the third generation. This is our 51st year of existence in this Tamil Nadu. So you should understand where to draw the line. And you certainly can't make out in statements saying that I will only talk what I want to talk. That's not the way it is in alliance. So which means that clearly you don't have respect for your high command. You certainly don't care for what the alliance stands for. And time and again, repeatedly, there are many occasions. Our leader
I'll ask Mr. Vinod to come in. Mr. Vinod, I want you to respond to that. Says no respect for an alliance.
See, how do you define the word political maturity? You define by the age, you define by the number of years the person has been in politics, you decide by the decision he has taken. Political maturity.
No, let's not talk about maturity. That's not the question. I want you to respond to him saying that you're not respecting the alliance.
Been very politically
let's stop to the point. Let's stick to the point of him saying.
Shri Annamalai.
Mr. Vinod, let's not go into Annamalai's political maturity once again. I'm asking you. They're saying that the BJP is not, especially the Tamil Nadu BJP, is not respecting the alliance.
There is no question of disrespecting the alliance. We have been working along with the AIADMK. As we already said, the alliance is purely electoral. So only during an election, we all need to work together to win the state for the betterment of the people of Tamil Nadu. But today, the party is more inclined towards growing its base in Tamil Nadu. BJP is growing by the day. So we need to go on with our own politics.
This is a bizarre statement. You're saying that, the alliances are only electoral. Would that mean that you keep calling your ally corrupt? But that doesn't work that way. Mr. Vinod, you can't, before the elections, just a year before the Lok Sabha elections, call them corrupt and then say that we are just electorally in alliance with them.
Narendra Modi ji's rule in Tamil Nadu. No, I'm trying to tell you. The BJP wants to ensure there is Narendra Modi styles of governance in Tamil Nadu, which is absolutely against any principles which encourage corruption at any level. Today, in the Tamil Nadu Secretariat, the seat of power, a minister's
so is the AIADMK corrupt?
This is an embarrassment.
Mr. Vinod, do you believe that the current AIADMK, the leaders, the party is corrupt? Mr. Vinod, let's get to the point. Do you believe that the current AIADMK, leadership or the party is corrupt?
No, we are not talking about that. We are talking about what is happening today. Shri Annamalai said we are against corruption as a whole. Any corrupt party, any corrupt activities, we are dead against it is what he has said. He is very clearly
it's a simple question. Let's not go back to Mr. Annamalai. I'm just asking you as a spokesperson of the BJP, do you feel that your ally AIADMK in Tamil Nadu is corrupt?
I'm repeatedly been telling you, we are talking about what has happened today in the Secretariat, in the Assembly, what has happened against the DMK is what we are talking about. We are not getting into the question of if a party is corrupt or not is to be decided by
Mr.
the
Vinod
agencies
is not
which are
taking
them
that question.
on what findings which are
yes,
there, or
okay,
the court
right,
of
Vinod.
law.
I'll come back to you. Let me bring back Mr. Narayanan into this, debate.
It is not for me.
Mr.
Sir,
Vinod,
it is
you're not.
for me to decide
Well,
whether
that should be the
ADMK is
stand of the
corrupt or
party,
not.
because if a party president is saying something, Mr. Vinod, that should be the stand of the party. Let me bring Mr. Narayanan here. Mr. Narayan, what do you
He never
make of
called
these
the
sort of
ADMK
statements that
as
is coming in?
corrupt.
Because the
He has never been
BJP is saying
pointed
what
and
it
said
wants to, but
ADMK is
also,
Sorry, can Mr.
staying away from
Selvam-
openly making statements as well here. Mr. Narayanan,
Yeah,
come in.
I think, let me be very clear, which is here. Let me first quote Mr. Annamalai in the interview that is being discussed. He says, many administrations of Tamil Nadu were corrupt with former chief ministers convicted in courts of law. Although technically Ms. Jayalalithaa was never convicted, the closest that the allusion comes to is Jayalalithaa, and that is sacred. Now, let me add tongue-in-cheek that Mr. Selvam here is competing with Mr. Annamalai in displaying a certain kind of political naivety, because in politics, silence is preferred to, especially in coalition politics, silence is preferred to statements that only worsen the situation. The second thing is, if electoral alliance is the only prospect, then it looks like a political one-night stand, which doesn't work because it upsets a lot of equations, and go-to people strategy of any coalition becomes severely affected. And to that extent,
No, Mr.
BJP's
Narayan,
prospects
because you've
for
seen Tamil Nadu politics for so long, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. I'd like to ask you, because like you said, this looks like a political one-night stand. But previously, of course, in the assembly elections, it didn't work very well for them. The entire formula which they did. Do you feel that right now they've realized that probably an open alliance of sorts is not working for the BJP and the AIADMK? Probably both of them going their separate ways. Probably a post-poll alliance is something that they're looking at through these sort of actions that we are seeing.
What the only possible or charitable way we can read Mr. Annamalai's statement is that the BJP has decided to brazen it out, in spite of what has happened in Maharashtra and what is sort of happening, in let's say Bihar. In Bihar, for instance, the BJP's ally has walked out. In Maharashtra, there is a split in the Shiv Sena. So Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah seem to be loving the idea of projecting a one-party approach to the entire country, which is a very big gamble. It's not a gambit, it is a gamble. And in 2024, it is potentially, in case of some kind of a shortage of seats and BJP is still leading, then it is burning its boats with ADMK, which is a very, very, politically not a sagacious move in the era of coalitions. And to that extent, this is an act of, either you call it, an all or nothing situation, or you call it political immaturity. I'll leave it to you to decide, because it is unprecedented in the coalition dynamics. But look at what they have done in Maharashtra and Bihar. The BJP seems to be remarkably in love with itself right now. So we'll wait and watch.
Right, Mr. Narayan. Mr. Narayan, let's leave the name calling to the politicians, and we'll of course know what the people of Tamil Nadu will decide during Lok Sabha about this alliance, whether it works for them or not. And of course, in the run-up, things of course could change in politics, and we see that happening on a daily basis. I thank all the guests from the BJP, from the AIADMK, and also Mr. Narayan for joining us. We'll of course have to move on now, even